Comcast Cablevision TV3 Sports presents the Girls Public Schools Group 2 Softball Championship game. Today, the Bears of Delran take on the Crusaders of Johnson Regional. And hello everyone, I'm Paul Spahala. Welcome to Toms River North High School for today's Public School Group 2 Softball Championship as the Delran Bears come in at 17-3 and the Crusaders of Johnson come in at 22-2 on this season. Working with me today is Anthony Nesto. And Anthony, a nice day for softball today. This is the first of 4 championships to be played on this field this afternoon.
And it should be a real good one. Delran has that second life. They got into the postseason tourney today by advancing, and they'll take on a tough Johnson Regional squad.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, Anthony. Delran was actually lost in the sectional final to Clearview, but they are here in the final. If you could briefly explain that.
Well, Clearview was, I guess, caught practicing with their coach in the squad when they weren't supposed to be coaching, and they got an anonymous call to the association, and they were stripped of the victory, and that's how Delran advances into today's game. And
Delran took advantage of it. They won their state semifinal, and they are here in this Group 2 championship today. One of the big reasons that they're here also is some excellent bats on this team, particularly Jamie Schofling. Boy, she can do it with lots of power.
She sure could. She's hitting .420 for her career. She's batting .525 this year, and she has 7 triples.
Yeah, and that also goes with 2 doubles and 3 home runs, so certainly she provides a lot of power for this Delran Bear team this afternoon. But if she's going to get some hits today, she's going to have to do it against a mighty tough pitcher and a mighty young pitcher, just a freshman for the Crusaders, Karen Colmos.
Karen's 14-1. She has a 1.19 ERA. She walks just over 1 batter a game, and she's always around the plate, and this Johnson Regional team plays good defense, so it's going to be a good game.
So it shapes up to be a pretty exciting game for the Group 2 state championship game. It's the Bears and the Crusaders. The first pitch is coming your way right after this. What you see there is the infield here at Toms River, but I'm going to point out that's not all Toms River dirt. There's also a smattering of Clark clay in there. That's because head coach Steve Petrozelli, borrowing from a University of Tennessee swimming ritual, takes a cup of dirt from the home of the Johnson softball team, and why not? They were 16-0 at home this year. And they sprinkle it on the field, much as Tennessee does with a bottle of water from their swimming pool whenever they go on the road. And to even extend the tradition a little bit, each of his players takes a little dirt out and drops it at their particular position on the field. Hey, it worked up in West Essex. Let's see if it works today in Toms River.
And they beat Pompton Lakes up there 3-0. So they want to play. It's like a home game, and they were looking for the dirt before they started.
Let's check the starting batting order for Nancy Pinelli's Delran Bears, who come into this one at 17-3. Tracy Bart will lead it off. The freshman second baseman is number 20. Julie Camardo hits in the 2 spot. She's the center fielder. Danielle Carpin, the shortstop, hits third, hitting cleanup, and no doubt about it, we saw her in the open. Jamie Schofling, the third baseman. Michelle Bain in left field hits 5th. Amy Bart, the pitcher, hits 6th. She's followed by Jonelle Pescavage in right field. Sarah Michalchuk is the catcher, hitting 8th, and Jess Romanette is the first baseman at the number 9 spot in the batting order. Now defensively for the Crusaders of Johnson Regional, Laura Zambuto is over at first base. Laura is a junior. Holly Fuchs plays second base. Holly is a senior for the Crusaders. A couple of juniors on the left side of the infield. Over at shortstop is Tara Tuminello. Tuminello wears number 6. And around at third base, wearing number 15, Kelly Cicatelli. Cicatelli at third. There's also a junior out in left field. That's number 32, Amy Gentry. There's Gentry in left. A pair of seniors finishes out the outfield. In center field, Sue Marzewski wears number 13. And around in right field, Tiffany Safranco wears number 10. Tiffany's sister, Jessica, is behind the plate. Jessica Safranco wears number 11. And out on the mound, just a freshman, the right-hander, Karen Kolmos. And she will face a freshman starting the game off today. Tracy Bart looks at ball 1. And Bart, an interesting stat today, Anthony, and this should be an interesting start to our ball game. 65 at-bats. She has not struck out. Count goes 0-2, 0-2. So that first pitch was a called strike. So 0-2 right away to Bart. So right away her strikeout streak is in jeopardy. Let's see what Kolmos does to it. It's grounded hard into the outfield over the head of the third baseman Cicatelli, and Bart is on an 0-2 single. So they did not waste time swinging the bats as Tracy Bart leads it off with a single. She came into the game hitting .354. That's her 24th hit of the year. Number 2 in the order, Julie Camardo. Camardo is sophomore. And the call count is strike 1.
Cicatelli playing about 40 feet away.
Let's see if they try and move Bart over. Grounded hard up the middle. Kolmos will go to second. The ball is dropped by the shortstop. It rolls into center field, backed up there by Marzewski, and all hands are safe. And an error will be charged to Tuminello at short, so an error. And right away, 2 are on for the Bears.
And Paul, I believe that's the first error committed by Johnson Regional in state tournament action.
And that is correct.
Play.
Danielle Carpin, the shortstop, will take ball 1.
And although it was early in the ball game, Paul, they weren't going to bunt there with the runner on first base. I think they could score some runs, but then again, it is early.
Ball 2. Ball gets away from the catcher, Safranco, so all hands move up. Bart moves to third base. Camardo takes second base. And here in the early going, things not working out well for the Crusaders. Nobody out, second and third. Number 3 hitter Carpin is up. And it's 3-0 to Carpin.
And Johnson Regional in jeopardy of allowing their first run in state tournament action.
And also in jeopardy of having the bases loaded for Schofling. Let's see what happens on this 3-0 delivery from the freshman. Gets it in at the knees for a strike, 3-1.
We're gonna have to study home plate umpire Karen Hughes real close today because she has a delayed strike call. The arm goes up a little bit later.
Grounded hard up the middle. Kolmos is going to go home. The toss to Safranco. The tag out. So Kolmos went to Jessica Safranco. Now we've got a runner at first. Nobody's covering home. Nobody's covering home for the Crusaders, and a run is in. Jessica Safranco ran out to run after the batter, Carpin, who was at first base. She was trying a delayed steal to get in a rundown, but when she took off and got to the mound, no one was at home, and Julie Camardo just walked right in with the first run of the ball game.
Number 22, the third baseman,
Well, nobody covered home. Nice play when it went back to the mound. Kolmos threw it to Safranco. She made the tag. Then the runner broke down to second base, like you said, and nobody was at home plate, and they just stole a run to take that 1-0 lead.
Jamie Schofling is now the batter. So Carpin is on second base, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Bears. Hit hard towards short, knocked down there by Tuminello. All hands will be safe.
Tough play for Tuminello, though, Paul. That's going to be an infield single.
That's going to be ruled a single for Schofling. On the play, Carpin held second base. So runners on first and second with 1 away. The Bears have 1 in. Michelle Bain, the senior left fielder, steps up. Bain looks to bunt, bunts it, and it will roll foul. Bain, one of only 3 seniors on this Delran team, and interestingly enough, head coach Nancy Finelli bunches them together in the order. They bat 4, 5, and 6. Bain hitting .300 this year. She's got 15 hits and 50 trips. 3 doubles. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Kolmos. It's in for a strike. Throw down a third on the delayed steal, and both runners will move up on the double steal. So Karpin takes third, and Schofling takes second.
Paul, that's a real tough play to execute, getting a runner there, because the third baseman's so close, and the shortstop has to try to run over with the runner, and she just did not get there in time.
And matter of fact, Tuminello, time being called just to look at her as she went for the ball. Karpin slid into her hard, but everybody's ready to go. 0-2, one away. And Johnson's going to move the infield in. So they are thinking runs will be hard to come by in this Group 2 championship game. Here's the 0-2. Hit towards first, fielded there. Out at first, throw back to home, not in time. 2-0 lead for Delran. Good play by Zambudo. Because she's playing so close in, she had to hustle back to the bag, and once she did, Karpin came home on the fielder's choice. 2-0 lead now for the Bears.
The infield was in, and Zambudo's a real good defensive first baseman. Fielded the ball, she gave the runner to look there, but as she went to touch first base, the runner broke home and scored.
Amy Bart is up right now, and Bart looks at ball one. Bart, the opposing pitcher, already has a 2-0 lead before she heads out to the mound.
And that'll add a ton of confidence to any pitcher, having that early lead.
Count now 1-1. Amy Bart hitting .333 this season. She has a team high 11 walks. And grounded into left field for another single. It's a 3-0 lead. It gets by the left fielder, Gentry. Bart not a fast runner. She's on her way towards second base, and she will stop there. It will be a single and an error.
And Paul, the infield, as you can tell right at the beginning, is almost like concrete. Both couple base hits were hard off the dirt, and they would not come down to the third baseman. They were clean singles, but a real hard infield.
And we'll get two moves in the infield. Number one, Steve Petrozelli goes out to the mound to speak with his pitcher. And number two, we will get a courtesy runner in the ball game. Holly Dixon will run at second base for Amy Bart. So Holly Dixon is the courtesy runner here in the first inning. But Steve Petrozelli out to the mound to try to settle his team down. They are down 3-0, and they haven't even come up to the plate. They had shut out Governor Livingston and Hanover Park 4-0, and then Pompton Lakes in the state semifinal 3-0. But here they find themselves down by 3.
And they've won 8 in a row, and coming into this game, they seem real loose, but they've had a real tough inning here, and 3 runs in tournament action, especially in softball, might be tough to come by.
And 2 errors already. Number 7 hitter in the order is Jonelle Petskavich. Petskavich, a sophomore right fielder. Again, Dixon, the courtesy runner for Bart. Hit hard towards right field. Tiffany Sifranco makes the play on the run in. But in the top of the first, 3 runs, 3 hits. There were 2 Johnson errors and a runner left at second base. So the Bears of Delran, the South Jersey champions, lead 3-0. This is the order that Steve Petrozelli will send up here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Tara Tuminello, the shortstop, will lead it off. Tiffany Sifranco, who made the final out of the inning, will play right field and bat second. Kelly Mulligan is the DH. She'll hit in the 3 spot. Catcher Jessica Sifranco hits in the 4 position. Amy Gentry, the left fielder, is 5th. Laura Zambudo, the first baseman, hits 6th. Karen Kolmos, the pitcher, is in the 7 spot. Sumar Zuski, center fielder, hits 8th. And rounding out the order and batting 9th, Kelly Cicatelli, the third baseman. Defensively for the Bears today, Jess Romanette is at first base. Romanette is a sophomore. Freshman Tracy Bart is at second. Bart at second. And a junior is over at shortstop. That is Danielle Karpin. Karpin wears number 42. The lone senior in the infield is Jamie Schofling. Schofling mans third base for the Delran Bears. Out in left field, number 18 is Michelle Bain. She's also a senior. And a pair of sophomores round out the outfield. In center field, Julie Camardo is wearing number 12. And another sophomore in right field, number 38. Looking good for the cameras. Fixing that ponytail is Jonelle Petskavich. Behind the plate, another sophomore, Sarah Michalchuk. Sarah Michalchuk behind the plate with the white skull cap. And out on the mound, number 48 is Amy Bart, who has been staked to a 3-0 lead as we head for the home half of the first inning. Bart has done almost all of the pitching for Delran this year. And by that, I mean she has thrown 112 of the 116 innings they have played. Tracy, her sister, has thrown the other 4. 112 innings, 89 strikeouts, 46 walks.
And a real interesting windup, not the windmill, it's a slingshot.
And the first pitch to Tuminello is in for a strike. Yeah, I think you're seeing less and less of the slingshot these days. Hit hard down the left field line. It's a fair ball, so Tuminello starts the Crusaders off with a single. And Anthony, no better way to come back from giving up 3 in the first than to have your leadoff hitter start things off.
And it was a clean line drive hit to left field. Look, head down on the ball, nice crisp swing, get the bat through the hitting zone quickly, base hit to left.
For Tuminello, her team high 35th hit of the year. Here's Tiffany Sifranco. Sifranco fouls it out of play.
They're not shy at the plate. They're going to be swinging. If that pitch comes in, they're going to take it. No taking pitches here.
Steve Petrozelli coaches third base for the Crusaders. Phil Freeze is down at first base. Sifranco, 1 homer, 22 RBIs for the Crusaders this year. Got a piece of that one, 0-2.
And Sifranco was way ahead of that pitch. A little off stride.
Karen Hughes is behind the plate. Jim Putterback is at first base. Bob Siggy is the umpire at third base. In the dirt off the plate, it's a wild pitch, and that will allow Tuminello to move up into scoring position.
Pitch hit off the plate, went to the backstop, and Tuminello was easily able to coast into second base.
That's the 8th wild pitch this year for Amy Bart. Bart is 17-3. As I said, she's had all the decisions for Delran. That one's low for a ball, 2-2.
And Sifranco is way up in the batter's box. Her back foot is ahead of home plate. The big front of home plate.
And got her looking at the knees, so Sifranco is the first out of the inning.
That's what you call a pitcher's pitch, Paul. Low in the knees, real tough to hit, but with 2 strikes, you got to swing at that one.
Yeah, that one's not going anywhere, even if you hit it. Steve Petrozelli quickly calls out to his bench coach, Larry Sturcio, and Walt Hennessy. Tell the rest of the players the low strike is being called today. Karen Hughes is going to call the low strike. This is Kelly Mulligan, the DH. She swings through, strike 1.
You know, most coaches won't have a problem with that, Paul, as long as the low pitch is called consistently throughout the game. But it's when you go a little below the knees all the way to the shoulders when you have the problem.
1-1. And as a softball umpire, you speak from experience.
Yes, I do.
And again, I'm sure Steve Petrozelli just wants to let his club know that, hey, the low strike is being called. Be aware of that. Popped up, and it will be out of play. And it rolls up the Snapple tent. Just missed the front of our truck. Count is 1-2 to Kelly Mulligan. Mulligan, the DH today. Loop towards center field. Center fielder slips. Camardo, she gets back up on her feet and makes the grab for the second out of the inning. That could have been a disaster for Delran. When Camardo made her first step in, she fell down to her knees, almost sat down in the outfield, but was able to regain her steps and make the out.
She composed herself real quickly. That was a nice play because she fell down, like you said, popped up, and was able to coast under it. She's got a lot of speed. You could tell right after she popped up, she got under that ball real quickly.
And she was fortunate that it was hit high, a line drive, and that certainly would have gotten by her. I don't know if she could have gotten up that quickly, but here's Jessica Sifranco, the catcher. Tuminello still on second base, and that first pitch is way upstairs for ball 1. Jessica hitting .476 this year. She is tied for the team lead with 3 home runs with Mulligan. And that one's grounded foul, but she is the team leader with 30 RBI. And also has a team high 4 doubles. Count is 1-1. The Crusaders are down by 3. That one gets away from the catcher, rolling near dead ball territory. And a good hustle by the catcher, Michael Chuck, kept it from rolling into the dugout. But on the wild pitch, Tuminello advances to third base.
Paul, the Sifranco sisters are identical twins. And you could stare at them for 4 hours and you won't be able to tell which one is which.
2-1 the count. They were outstanding basketball players this past winter. Swings high at that one. Count now even at 2-2. Big pitch coming up here. Just got a piece of it. So Sofranco stays alive at 2-2.
Getting back to the identical twins, Walt Hennessy coaching in an All-Star game, I said to him, I said, Walt, how do you tell the difference between the two of them? He goes, I've been coaching them for 4 years. I say Tiffany, and I say Jessica, and whoever turns to me, then I know which one is which.
That's the one that he gives the instruction to. Again, the 2-2, and again, just got a piece of it. So Jessica stays alive. Amy Bard on the mound, stick to a 3-0 lead. She's working with 2 outs here in the home first. Tried the changeup, but didn't reach the plate. So it goes 3-2 to Sofranco with Amy Gentry waiting in the wings. Hard hit ball center field. It'll go in for a hit. It should be extra bases for Sofranco. She makes the big turn at first. She's headed to second. She's got an RBI double, and the Crusaders are on the board. Clutch hitting for Jessica Sofranco. Here's another look at the 3-2 offering.
She took the 3-2 pitch, lined it into left center field. Clean double for Sofranco. A runner came home. Center fielder made a good play. Camardo cutting that ball off. It could have kept rolling. Hold Sofranco to a nice double and a ribby.
And now Amy Gentry will step up. And Gentry with a chance to make it a 1-run ball game. Gentry hitting .380 this year. She's got 26 runs batted in. First delivery from Bart, high for a ball. Huge hit for Jessica Sofranco.
Johnson Regional has made Bart throw a lot of pitches here in the first inning, Paul.
Yeah, good point. Although, of course, in softball, it's not that important as it is, of course, in baseball.
Quality as opposed to quantity.
Hit hard towards center field. If it drops in, here comes the center fielder. What a grab by Camardo on the run. So she shows us her speed on that one, and she kept her footing. However, in the inning, 1 run. There were a pair of hits for the Crusaders. There were no errors and a runner left on second base. 1 full frame in the book in the Group 2 state championship game. The score is Delran 3, Johnson 1. We'll be right back. Good.
No, if you want to do a Delran funner, we can do that. Okay, yeah, that's right. You didn't send me the stuff. Okay, if you want to do another Johnson funner. Okay.
In 15 starts prior to today, Karen Colmos had thrown 94 innings, had allowed only 44 hits, struck out 80, only walked 18. A 1.19 ERA, but she was reached for 3 hits in the first inning.
And we'll see if she could settle down. Big factor here, she's a freshman.
She had only given up 6 hits total in the state tournament. 3 consecutive 2-hitters.
Governor Livingston, they beat 4-0. They beat Hanover Park 4-0, and then they beat Pompton Lakes in the dirt game 3-0.
Game played up at West Essex Regional. So it's a 3-1 lead for the Bears as we head to the top of inning number 2. Sarah Michalchuk, the number 8 hitter, will lead us off. Michalchuk comes in hitting .375. First pitch is in for a strike. Swings through that one, 0-2. And I'm sure on the bench they reminded Karen Colmos that 8 and 9 were leading off this inning, so go right after it. Here's the 0-2. Fouled our way. Just beyond our reach.
Paul, if I stood up, I think I could have got a little leather on it.
You had to lean over the railing here in the mezzanine.
Big contrast in hitting compared. This batter's all the way deep in the batter's box.
0-2 grounded hard towards short, and it gets by Tuminello. It's a single. It was a hard hit ball. Tuminello tried for the backhand stab, but it went under her glove. It's a single for Michalchuk, the 4th hit for the Bears.
The first baseman, number 36.
Ground ball between short and third. Shortstop Tuminello tried to make the play. Tough play going to her right. Single to left.
So Michael Chuck is on, and another 0-2 hit. That one hurt when Bart did that as the leadoff hitter last inning.
You know, when you're playing first or third base, Paul, you can try to get in front of the ball, knock it down plenty of time. But playing shortstop, you got to even field the ball to the side a lot because you have to release it real quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point. You really don't have that luxury. The bobble usually doesn't help you. At second base, maybe you can drop it an instant. Just Romanette. Grounder towards first, knocked down by Zambuto. She's going to have to go to second baseman covering. And good play by Holly Fuchs to get over on the play.
Now comes the bat.
And Holly Fuchs saved Zambuto from her first career error. Zambuto has had 320-plus opportunities, if you got to look at it. She gets the glove on the ball, knocks it down, has the presence of mind to go to first, and Fuchs made a good play covering the bag.
Zambuto has not made an error in her varsity career. That is 2 years and over 330 chances. And that is just a phenomenal stat.
Unbelievable.
Hard hit ball left field coming on. Making the grab is Amy Gentry. So we've seen some good outfield play both ways today. Amy Gentry showing a lot of hustle to rob Tracy Bart of a second hit. Here's a good look at it.
Yeah, Gentry got a good jump on the ball here. Came in quickly, makes the play.
So with 2 away, it's Julie Camardo. Getting back to Zambuto real quick, you would think the law of averages would catch up to her. But then again, you would think the law of averages, and I don't want to jinx them, would catch up to Cal Ripken.
Exactly. She's just real strong at first base. And I mean, this year she had 176 opportunities, 170 putouts, and 6 assists. And I mean, Paul, you know, you played first base in your prime. And I mean, you could just drop it off the tip of the glove,
Sure,
you could throw one away.
Take your eye off the ball for a second. And again, that 176 does not include times she's thrown the ball to try and get a runner and the runner's beaten the throw. And of course, that doesn't show up as an assist or a putout, but it is a chance. Hit hard, just gets by the second baseman into right field. It goes through for a single, a throw to first, not in time. Now remember, of course, in softball, there's the runner going to second base on a delayed steal. They will give up the bag to keep the runner at third. So it is a hit for Camardo. And then she takes second on the delayed steal.
You had to pull the ball still alive until it gets into the circle, and she broke quickly to second base. And again, they let her go down to second base with 2 outs here in the inning.
Michael Chuck goes to third on the single. And here is Danielle Carpenter. Carpenter reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. She later came around to score the second Delran run. Grounded, foul of third.
You know, Paul, one of the bigger adjustments you have to make even covering these games is the chance on a base hit to right field that the right fielder comes up throwing. Like you mentioned earlier at first base, and it could actually be a routine 9-3.
Now, just out of curiosity, Tiffany Sofranco has 5 assists from the outfield this year. Now, certainly they could be all putouts at either second or third at home, but I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or more were at first base.
And the first baseman breaks right back to the back like it's a normal play.
It's an 0-2 count with 2 away to Carpin. Now remember, Carpin was up when she hit a grounder back to the mound. The throw from the mound home got the runner. Then Carpin broke for second. The catcher, Jessica Sofranco, ran after her, left home unguarded, and that's how Delran got their first run of the ball game. Count now 2-2. Camardo at second, Michael Chuck at third, fly ball left field deep, but Gentry is there, and Gentry will put it away for the final out of the inning. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits, there were no errors, and 2 runners left on for the Bears. At the end of 1.5, Delran still leads 3-1.
All kinds of candy, soda, off to the side, all proceeds benefit the
Okay. Not this year, no. No, mostly Mostly we're seeing the windmill. Joining me on Time In on Monday evening, June 19th, Earl Williams, former National League Rookie of the Year with the Atlanta Braves. Also played for a time with the Baltimore Orioles. Among his teammates, Hank Aaron, Brooks Robinson. So if you'd like to join us with a phone call, that's Monday evening, June 19th. Give us a call at 908-636-5333 and speak with my special guest, Earl Williams, former National League Rookie of the Year. We'll head for the home second inning. Zambudo, Kolmos, and Marzewski for the Crusaders.
Earl Williams, that should be a real interesting show.
Had a very lengthy career in the big leagues with Atlanta and Baltimore. Was a catcher for many years. I believe also played first base for a time. At one time, and we'll talk about this, had to handle the pitching of Phil Niekro. That big fluffy glove behind the plate.
That's an adventure in itself.
Laura Zambudo, the junior first baseman, looks at ball one. Now, interestingly enough, and I don't know if I'm noticing a trend here, but Bart's first pitches are usually up high. Now, whether she's putting a little something extra on them, hard to tell. Popped up, second baseman going out, that's Tracy Bart. Now the center fielder coming in is Julie Camardo. Camardo makes the call. And the rule of thumb is if the player coming in makes the call, give way. Easier to catch it running in than backing up.
And that's Camardo's third put out of the game already.
Yeah, good point. Here's Karen Kolmos, the freshman pitcher. If Kolmos gets on, we will see a courtesy runner for her. Kolmos hitting .333 this season. Again, the first pitch up high.
I think you were right on it, Paul. I think she overextends, tries to throw a little harder to get ahead, and the pitch is rising in the strike zone. Usually you're real strong when the pitch goes high.
That one's in the strike zone, swung on and missed. And could be after falling behind in the count, she realized, well, let me just touch it back a bit. That one she delivers right in. Swinging strike two.
Almost looks a little behind Bart here.
Still early in the ball game, but the Delran Bears do lead 3-1 at this point. You're watching the Group 2 state championship game. That one was way above the eyes. Kolmos goes after it, and she becomes the second strikeout victim.
Now coming to bat, the center fielder, number 13.
Bart was ahead of the count 1-2, and she put that pitch a little high and away, and she got Kolmos, the opposing pitcher, out on strikes.
Right at the shoulder blades. Here's Sue Marzewski. Marzewski's having a great state tournament. She's hitting .571 with 2 triples and 3 RBIs in the 3 tourney games.
And Paul, she's almost out of the batter's box. She's real. She's got that big stance. Now she actually backs up a little bit.
Hard hit ball. Was looking for the gap, and it's going to be over the left fielder head. It's going to be extra bases for Marzewski. Her hot hitting continues. She's around second base. She's headed for third, and she will have her 3rd triple of the state tournament. Slightly bobbled in the outfield, but she will hold third with her 3rd triple of the tourney. And Sue Marzewski is just lighting up the scoreboard during these 4 tourney games.
She is on fire. Look at this swing. Line drive. Left fielder just turned her back, Michelle Bain, and just chased after the ball. And like you said, she is on fire.
But it will be the responsibility of Kelly Cicatelli to get her home. There are 2 away for the number 9 hitter. Cicatelli hitting .317 this year. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Crusaders could use a 2-out hit. That first pitch, high for a ball. 1-1.
Cicatelli has 7 RBIs on the year. It's not bad, batting 9th, hitting .317.
Popped up, possibly playable, and now it does go out of play. A little bit of room to work with here at Toms River North. Michael Chuck made an effort for it, but it went out of play. Kelly Cicatelli, who you see at the plate right now, is the daughter of Steve Cicatelli, football coach over at Scotch Plains High School. 1-2 delivery. Hit up the middle.
knocked down by the pitcher. Carpet over to first for the out, and the Bears hold on without giving up the run. In the inning, no runs. The triple by Marzewski, but she is stranded at third base. 2 in the books, 3-1 lead for the Bears.
You welcome.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, she died there. Ooh, tough call. Was bobbled a little. Okay. Then you can shoot Sophie, the bowling coach. Oh, yeah, no, he definitely was here. He's here with his daughter. It's hard to see him now. Oh, he's down. He's down the right field line. I'm almost sure that's him. He's standing by the fence. Yeah, that's him. He's like the 3rd or 4th person standing by the fence on the right field line. A couple of the Johnson fans standing by the fence, enjoying the action today here at Toms River North. And just to the right of your screen, that is Steve Sophie. Steve, the bowling coach over at Johnson Regional. Now, Steve was not coaching the Crusaders back in the early 70s when they won a state title in bowling. But this is the first time that Johnson Regional has been in a state final in any sport other than bowling. Schof also the host of Sound Waves on TV3. 0-1 delivery, and as we come back for inning number 3, let's send it over to Anthony Nesto. Anthony, welcome to Toms River.
Thanks, Paul. Nice ride coming down. No traffic here in the summer.
That's the best thing.
Schofling, Bain, and Bart. Ground ball through the hole. Base hit for Schofling. Clean hit for Jamie.
Her second of the day. And for Schofling, that will be her 33rd hit this year. So she's 33 for 61, nearing 550.
It'll bring up Michelle Bain. Fielder's choice her first time up. Takes the bunt, throw to second base, sliding on the steal. Out at second base. Real nice throw by Jessica Sofranco to the shortstop, Tuminello covering to erase the leadoff base runner.
We'll get a good look at it here on the replay. When the batter sticks that bat out, it tries to distract the catcher. But Sofranco's throws a strong one. Tuminello applies the tag.
So now there is 1 out for Michelle Bain. That pitch was a strike. Bouncing ball, down a line, foul ball. When it went off the bat, Cicatelli thought about coming in and charging and making the play, but then it stayed up in the air on that last hop. And again, the infield very hard like concrete, so she decided to let it roll foul.
And also, I think she caught out of the corner of her eye how quickly Bain got down the line, and she made the wise decision that I'm not going to throw her out, might as well let it go foul.
0-2 pitch fouled off. Good defensive swing by Bain to stay alive. Barely got the bat on the ball. Bain hitting 316 RBIs on the year. She's a senior. Here's the pitch. Just missed.
She got to run home her first at bat on the ground out to Zambudo.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So now 2 outs here in the visiting third. Little drop on that pitch, low and away. And Bain goes down swinging. Brings up the opposing pitcher, Amy Bart. Amy singled her first time up and went to second on an error. She also drove in the 3rd run for Delran. Fly ball to right field. This could be trouble. Sofranco going back, and she makes the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning for Johnson Regional. They quiet the bats at Delran. We've completed 2.5 innings of play here. It is still Delran 3 and Johnson Regional 1.
Hey, don't I get to talk? That was a quick inning. Okay. Well, do you want to, or do you want me to do it? I'll do it. 'Cause I saw the game, so I'll talk a little about it. Yeah, again, it's right eye level. I mean, not for you. No, for me too.
On this field yesterday, we were here to cover the Parochial B Championship game between Mount St. Dominic and Bishop Eustace. And if you picked up your paper today, you know that Mount St. Dominic, for the second straight year, has won the Parochial B crown. If you'd like to watch the game on TV3, you can do so either Wednesday or Thursday of this week at 1 in the afternoon as the Lions of Mount St. Dominic win the Parochial B State Championship.
And Mount St. Dominic, I think, absorbed only one loss this year. And, Paul, it was against a place that both of us were born.
That's
it
correct.
Was against Bloomfield.
Lost to the Lady Bengals in the Essex County Tournament Championship game.
Real good ball game that was. It'll be here in the bottom of the third for Johnson Regional. They trail 3-1. It'll be Tumanello, Sofranco, and Mulligan to try to chip away at that 3-1 lead. That first pitch high continues. Ball one.
And even Steve Petrozelli, I heard him say to his club, watch that first pitch, it's high.
Pitch looked a little high in the strike zone there, but it was called a strike. And Paul, in all defense of the umpire, when the batter's moving in the batter's box, it's real tough to keep the strike zone for an umpire. But it's 1-1 here to Tumanello. Taking the dirt, 2-1. She singled her first time up.
Steve, in his second year as the head coach of the softball team, 34 victories, only 10 losses.
Taking at the knees on the outside corner, evens up the count at 2-2.
Of course, we also know Steve as the coach of the boys basketball team over at Johnson.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three.
And the Crusaders have got to try to stay away from that high one. I know it's difficult to do. Same thing holds true in baseball. When it's up near your eyes, you think you get a real good look at it, but that pitch is almost impossible to hit. And even if you hit it, it's really not going to go too far.
And it brings up Tiffany Sofranco. She struck out looking her first time up on a pitch real similar to that one.
Sofranco's really the only one who's seen low pitches today. Everybody else has gotten the high pitch.
Line drive in the left field. Base hit for Sofranco. She'll stop at first with the clean, crisp single to left.
Fourth hit of the game for the Crusaders. And I'll tell you, Anthony, we are seeing some good hitting today. Watch this effort by Sofranco. She got all of it, drilled it into left field.
And it brings up Kelly Mulligan, the DH. Kelly flew out to the center fielder first time out. So we have a runner on first and one out for Johnson Regional. They trail 3-1. Line drive fouled on the right field line. Almost a souvenir for the fans down there.
Mulligan has also had a hot state tournament. She's got 3 triples in the previous 3 games.
Well, Paul, coming in, they only were hitting .267 as a team as far as the state tournament action went, but 8 of their 19 hits were for extra base hits.
They were bunching the base hits, the extra base hits together.
Throw down to first, back easily, Sofranco. Count 1-1. Home half of the third for Johnson Regional. Swing and a miss. And that pitch looked a little up in the strike zone too, Paul.
Yeah, they are getting the Crusaders to offer at that high strike right now. So I'm sure the Johnson coaching staff, Walt Hennessy and Larry Sturcio, who are on the bench right now talking over, and they've got to get those girls to try to stay off that rising fastball.
Ground ball through the hole, base hit. Center fielder coming up quickly to field the ball was Camardo, but Sofranco goes into second. Mulligan's down at first with the single. And now Johnson Regional threatening.
Now this was very close, not extremely close, but very close to being a ground out to center field. Because Camardo comes up in a hurry, makes the throw. You can see the runner is safely in already, but Camardo was charging hard.
And it brings up Jessica Sofranco. She doubled her first time up, fouls it off behind the cage, strike one. One out, runners on first and second for Johnson Regional. They trail 3-1, and this would be the batter you'd want up the cleanup hitter. Jessica coming in is hitting .476, 3 homers and 30 RBIs. She had an RBI in the first inning to make it 31 now.
Yeah, she had a double. So now with the double by Jessica and the triple by Marzewski, that will give them 10 extra base hits. in the tournament.
Pitch down to the dirt. Runners will advance up to second and third on the wild pitch.
Well, you can't ask for the better setting now for the Johnson Crusaders. Not only do you have 2 runners on for the cleanup hitter, but you've got them in scoring position with 1 away.
And this is crucial. Even on an out, you want to make it a good out. Stuff that only until this year started appearing in the books as far as runners moving up, but this would be a sac fly if it wasn't out. Line drive, that could be trouble. Center fielder will make the play.
And unfortunately for the Crusaders, they did not tag up. They did not play the bases well, and that has cost them a run.
You know, Paul, one of the big rules of base running when you're on third and less than 2 outs on a fly ball, you try to hug the bag, and sometimes when the ball goes off like that, it's real difficult to stay on the base, but if Sifranco did stay at third, it could have been a run home. But then again, Camardo was coming up in fielding position on the catch. It would have been close. 2 outs. Brings up Amy Gentry. By the way, that is the 4th putout of the game for Camardo.
Yeah, she's been busy.
Center.
And she almost had the assist earlier. Boy, you are right, Anthony. You want to hug that bag at third base, and you even want to do it at second base to an extent in softball because of the shorter base paths. You probably will have a chance to score, especially if it's in the gap, and that looks like that was where that one was headed.
As you saw a pitcher, home plate umpire Karen Hughes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball into the shortstop. She's going to tag the runner out of third, and they get the runner at third for the 3rd out of the inning. So Johnson Regional had runners on second and third with 1 out, but they can't play to run. We've completed 3 innings of play. It is still the Delran Bears 3 and the Johnson Regional Crusaders 1.
Third base side. So if we have visitors here for the
Yeah. Or at the very least, when she saw the runner coming after her, hey, run it back to second, you know, make the 3rd out, but stay alive to get the runner home. No, it's all negative stuff, but yeah, but I mean, oh yeah, you have to say it, yeah. No, we know we handled it well, but I mean, and even in softball again, you know, hug the bag on a ball hit that hard, tag up, go to third, and if she drops it, more likely you're going to score. Now in baseball, yeah, you got to play it halfway because you're going 180 feet. But should be free there. Yeah. No, you.
Most people dress today for a sunny day, sun coming in and out, but there you get a view of the fans here down at Toms River. Group 2 championship, Delran leading Johnson Regional 3-1.
And we're somewhere 5 to 10 miles away from the Point Pleasant beaches.
And I think it's maybe because I'm here, Paul. Ground ball to the shortstop. Good play by Tumanello. Across the Zambuto, 1 down. Jonelle Petscavage rounds out to the shortstop to start the Delran 4th.
Number 39, the catcher, Sarah Michaelchuk.
Yeah, you are the bad weather gnome everywhere you went this spring.
And it wasn't like it was the middle of winter, it was spring. Pitch taken high, ball 1 to Michaelchuk. Michaelchuk singled her first time up.
I was speaking with Boyd Sands, the executive director of the State Athletic Association, who's been at the games yesterday and today, and he said the one word to describe this season in sports: weather.
Base hit into right field, just past the outstretched glove of Fuchs. And Delran has a 1-out base runner. Single for Michaelchuk.
Yeah, hard hit ball. Fuchs makes a good effort at it, but it gets by her. Marzewski will back it up in center field. And 1 away, we're down to the bottom of the order. Boy, that's 2 big hits already from Michaelchuk from the 8th spot.
And it brings up Jess Romanet. Ground ball back to the box. Thrown over to first to get the sure out. 2 outs. Possible, you know, they could have got the lead runner Paul down at second base, but she went for the sure out at first. Almost did.
Just to quickly finish up on that thought, my discussion with Boyd Sands, he said, ever since the
state finals in football, which was a mild weekend. Basketball, of course, the winter season, no problems.
Ground ball back to the mound again. Almost over to Zambuto, and that is it. Maybe you'll get that little note in when we come back in the bottom of the fourth. But Delran leaves one base runner on a hit. They don't score. We've completed 3.5 innings of play. It's the Bears 3 and the Crusaders 1.
This is the bottom of the fourth. No, not right now. A couple of other teams are here, but who cares?
Welcome back to Tom's River. It's the Delran Bears leading the Johnson Regional Crusaders 3-1. And all the scoring, Paul, happening in the first inning.
Yeah, that's right. 3 for the Bears early on, and then the Crusaders came back with 1.
And they have,
each team has had their chances, though.
Yeah, they have. They've put runners on base. A couple base running mistakes here and there, but it's still a real close game. Here in the bottom of the fourth for Johnson Regional, it'll be Zambuto, the pitcher Komos, and Marzewski to face Amy Bart.
We should point out that you're seeing the game being played with the new yellow softball. It's a more compressed ball. It will go further. This is the first game that Johnson has played all year with the yellow ball. You had a choice as your home team. You could have played with it. Johnson did not. Some leagues actually said you couldn't. For instance, I believe the Watch On Conference said you could not. Yesterday, both teams did play with it all season long. But this is the first game that Johnson has played with it in a regular game. They had scrimmaged once at East Brunswick and used it earlier, of course, before the season began. But they have been practicing with it in anticipation of getting here.
Strike called. It's now 2-1 to Zambuto. Paul, the whole idea behind it, I would imagine, is to pick up the ball better. Is that the reasoning of the color of the ball? Pop up. Here comes center fielder. She'll call it. And Camardo makes the catch. What an active center fielder.
Why not? She's caught everything else. That's the second time Zambuto's flown out to her. Yeah, obviously the yellow is for better visibility, and it certainly is much easier to see. The factor of the compression, I think the decision by the National Federation, which is where the rule came from, was just to get a little bit more offense into the ball game. Maybe back up the infielders also.
Batter now, Karen Komos, the pitcher. She struck out her first time out. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Delran.
We've done games where that third baseman is only about 30 feet away from the batter. Now, today they're 40 to 45, and that's still pretty close, closer than I'd want to play.
But, Paul, that ball might change that. Fouled off into the screen. 1-1.
There you see the third baseman, Jamie Schoflin, for Delran. You can see right now she's about 10 feet in front of the bag. See if she sneaks in.
1-1 from Bart, fouled off. No, she held her ground there.
Now, depending on the style of hitter, yesterday in the Mount St. Dominic game that we did, a lot of Mount St. Dominic's players, particularly at the top of the order, Sabrina Spitoletta is a slapper type hitter. Everybody, and I mean everybody, was on the infield dirt, even the outfielders. The infielders were all at the mound or closer.
Fly ball to the left fielder, Bain. She makes the catch. 2 down for Johnson Regional in the home fourth, and it will bring up Sue Marzewski.
Now coming to bat.
Sue tripled her first time up, and she is on fire in the state tournament. Paul, as we mentioned, that's her, what, 3rd triple. She's hitting close to 600. She has 3 RBIs. Not bad, hitting 8th.
The Crusaders are getting the ball in the air. That's the 6th flyout. And remember, they've hit the double and the triple in the air also. So they are hitting the ball hard, hitting it high.
High in the strike zone, fouled off, out of play.
I think they might be happier testing out the Delran infield a little bit. They know the outfield has been playing solidly.
Marzewski behind an account 0-2. Pitch trying to strike zone, fouled off.
Yeah, they're still reaching.
Watching that ball bounce there in the parking lot, Paul, looked like a golf ball. It looks like there is a little jump to it.
And many times I have seen my golf ball head out to parking lots.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a real quick and simple inning for Amy Bart. They go down 1-2-3 to Johnson Regional. We've completed 4 innings of play. It's Delran still 3 and Johnson 1.
Clifton High School against Middletown South. Clifton High School is going to be on
First true 1-2-3 inning. Right. Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Now. They're warming up. The game doesn't start till noon. Yeah, I think he was, yeah. No.
Welcome back to Toms River, and there's the meeting on the mound with the Johnson Regional infield, the Crusaders. They're trailing 3-1 here in the top of the 5th, and for Delran, it will be Camardo, Carpin, and Schofling.
Coming up after this game, the Group 4 championship, Clifton and Middletown South. Then the Group 1 game, Pequannock and Bound Brook. And followed lastly by the Group 3 game, Nutley and Watchung Hills. All 4 public championships will be played today at Toms River North.
Here's the 1-0. Pop up in the infield to the second baseman. Fuchs makes a nice play. Coming on.
And that plays a little tougher than you might think, because when it's not hit that hard, it's not hit that high, you know that ball has got a tremendous amount of spin on it.
Exactly.
That's coming off there like a sand wedge, that much backspin. And if your fielder doesn't get a good glove on it, that's going to just slide right off the leather.
Well, Fuchs has had 17 opportunities here in state tournament action. I think 15 coming in, a couple today without making an error. So she has a 1,000 fielding percentage here in the tournament. Popped up foul off the bat of Carpin. Count evens up at 1-1. Fielder's choice and flew out to the left fielder her first 2 times up.
Well, so far, Colmos has done the job with Tracy Bart at the top of the order. She's 1 for 3. They've gotten her the last 2 times. It was just little defensive lapses in the early inning that cost the Crusaders.
Taken down, 2-1 to Carpin. We mentioned it earlier that
there's Nancy Finelli, in her 5th year as head coach of the Bears.
3-1. She walks just about one batter a game, and that might be it there. Ball 4 to Carpin. She'll trot down to first base. She's a 1-out base runner. It'll bring up the slugging Jamie Schofling. She has 2 hits today, and she was caught stealing back in the 3rd. So Delran will look to try to build on this 3-1 lead.
Now, Carpin with 11 steals this year. He's one of 5 Bears in double figures. Camardo is the team leader. Now, the interesting thing will be, what will Nancy Finelli do? Will she have Carpin try to steal to get in scoring position for her big hitter? Although, obviously, you run the risk of having nobody on base if she's thrown out.
First pitch taken at the letter, strike 1.
It's only 3-1. You'd, of course, like an extra run here.
Carpin down at first. The senior Schofling up. Line drive to the center fielder. Nice play. They're going to double up the runner. Double play at first base. Beautiful play by the center fielder, Marzuski. She threw it back to Zambuto for the double play. So as quickly as the 1-out base runner was on, the double play ends the threat. So we've completed 4.5 innings of play down at Toms River in the Group 2 final. It's still Delran 3 and Johnson Regional 1.
That was nice. Yeah, she was. Was hitting. They were trying to hit and run. You know, yeah. You know, I was thinking. I was going to say that if they ever took a pitch, I think she missed a steal sign on the first one. That pitch, well, I'm only saying because that pitch was so good that your cleanup hitter doesn't want to let a belt-high fastball go unless there's a straight steal on. So now I'm thinking, boy, if she missed that. Well, anyway, here it comes. You got it. Yeah.
Marzewski with a real nice play in center field. The runner was going, and Carpin was going. Marzewski makes the catch, and it was just a throw over to Zambuto at first to double up Carpin to end the threat of Delran and keep Johnson Regional in the ballgame.
Carpin was, as you said, running. She fell when she had to put on the brakes, but she was going to be out anyway. She was so far off, and Marzewski's throw was such a strong one.
And for Johnson Regional, who trails by 2 runs, it'll be Cicatelli, Tuminello, and Safranco.
Well, you can't ask for anything more, Anthony. Johnson's defense, since the first inning, has kept them in the ball game. Now their bats have to come to life.
Yeah, after the first inning, they've played up to their billing. They've played real well. And Cicatelli, let's see if she gets started off for the Crusaders.
Starting to run out of time, because you're only guaranteed at this point one more trip through the lineup.
Taken low, 1-1.
And you'd love to get Cicatelli in the 9 spot to start something off to give your big bats a chance.
Here's the 1-1 from the slingshotter. Ground ball to the shortstop. Carpin across the diamond to Romanette, 1 down.
And conversely, of course, a big inning for Delran here. If they can get a 1-2-3 inning, which they got defensively last inning, then 3, 4, and 5 come up, or at the very least 3 comes up with nobody on to start the 6th inning.
It'll be Tuminello. Tara singled her first time up and then struck out back in the 3rd. She's 1 for 2.
She has scored the only Crusader run.
Taken low, ball 1.
The very first batter of the ball game for Johnson. She got on, scored the only run, and since then, Johnson has been shut down. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
Ground ball, base hit off in the hard infield for Tuminello. She'll take the wide turn at first, but wisely holds up, being down by 2 runs. Clean base hit for Tara.
Yeah, on this field, and I know, of course, the third baseman in almost all softball games are accustomed to playing tight, but on this field, it is something you have got to worry about, because that is about the 3rd or 4th bouncing hit over the third baseman's head we've seen today.
So a 1-out base runner in Tuminello. It brings up Tiffany Safranco.
Key batter now. Safranco gets on. The big bats are on with 2 runners.
Fouled off. Tuminello down at first base, Paul. As far as the season, she leads the team in runs with 44, hits with 34, walks with 21, average at 539. So she's been a big offensive power for Johnson Regional.
Tiffany in the tournament, 428, a double and a triple.
Taken high. Ball 1, throw down to first, easily back is Tuminello.
So Safranco, another one of the Crusaders who's been awful hot in the 4-game state tournament. They need her on base now.
Here's the 1-1, taken high, throw back to first. She's in there okay.
Yeah, Tuminello is not straying from the base too far. She knows how big her run is.
3-1 ball game. The Delran Bears lead here in the Group 2 final.
She knows her run is big because it means nothing. Her run is only the 2nd run.
Taken high, ball 3, so it's now 3-1. 3 consecutive pitches up in the strike zone.
How's that for a contradiction? She's got a big run because it means nothing. But she knows obviously she can't be an out, but her run's not important right now. Tiffany Safranco, should she get on.
Oh, strike 2, 3-2.
I think a strike, though. I think she swung at a strike. It was up in the strike zone, but I think a strike.
Count is full. Runners going on the pitch, swing, strike out, throw down to second base, sliding, safe at second base. So with 1 out in the full count, the runner, Tuminello, was running. Strikeout. Runner, though, steals second base. So now with 2 outs, we have a runner down at second base, and it brings up Kelly Mulligan.
Strikeout number 5 for Amy Bartz.
Mulligan is 1 for 2 today. Flew out to the center fielder and singled back in the 3rd. Taken high, ball 1. That 3-1 pitch to Safranco would have probably been a strike. It was real close, and 3-1, she was still aggressive. Just missed making contact there. Fly ball down the right field line, foul.
Mulligan with 6 triples, 3 homers this year. And interestingly enough, no doubles. When you have 9 extra base hits and none are a double, that's a little quirky stat.
She's the DH today.
Hitting for Fuchs, the second baseman.
Count 1-1. Tumanello down at second. 2 outs for Johnson Regional. Here's the pitch fouled into the screen. And Michael Chuck ripping the mask off. She's done a good job behind the plate. A few of those high pitches, she's gone up and played good defensively, but that mask came out real quickly on the foul. Bart ahead 1-2 here. Fly ball, could be trouble. Center fielder coming on. Second baseman, off her glove, and a run will score. Off the second baseman's glove, and a run will score. And it's a tough play for the second baseman back penalty, but that's a hit.
And it is a tough play for Tracy Bart. She's got to go back on it. Give her credit just for getting near the ball. So it's a single and an RBI for Mulligan. And there you see the effort of the second baseman just to get there, but it is now a 3-2 ball game with Safranco up.
Jessica, the slugger on this team. She's 1 for 2, flew out to the center fielder and doubled in the first, driving in the first run. Taken low, ball 1. Played out of first, safe, real close play.
Close for 2 reasons. Mulligan wandered a little too far, and then when she tried to set the brakes, she slid.
She skidded a little bit. She couldn't get up in time, but she's back safely. 3-2. Delran leads here in the bottom half of the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Taking strike 1, throw down to first once again. Mulligan is back. Pulling that hit into right center fielder. I thought that Camardo was going to come from nowhere to make the play. Ground ball to the third baseman. Should be the third out of the inning. Over to first. Good play from Schofling over to Romanette. But Johnson Regional scores a run to cut it to a 3-2 lead. We've completed 5 innings here in Toms River. It's the Bears 3, Crusaders 2.
Ooh, now that run that you didn't get on the tag up, looking awful big now. No. If you want to do time in, we'll do time in again. Now you're sitting there saying, ooh, if we only got that 1 run in on that fly ball. You can, yeah. It's the Earl Williams.
Monday, time in. The guest will be Earl Williams, the former National League Rookie of the Year. He played with the Braves, played some with the Orioles. That's the 6th. That's June 19th, Monday night at 6:30 live. And your calls will be taken by the host and the person that will pick up here in the top of the 6th inning, and that's Paul Spahala.
Thank you very much, Anthony. 908-636-5333, the number. And for those who have been watching TV3, Earl also joined us as a color commentator on one of our GNT quarterfinal round games. First pitch of the top of the 6th inning to Michelle Bain, swinging strike 1. Johnson has cut the lead in half, but it is still Delran 3, Johnson 2. Bain will take a pitch. Bain grounded out, knocked in a run back in the 1st inning, knocked in the 3rd run, which is now the winning run. Also struck out, grounds it towards second base. Fuchs, the soft toss to Zambuto.
And Fuchs playing in the hole there with the righty up. She was real close to the first baseman, leaving the middle wide open, but she was in a great positioning, and it's right off the bat. Zambuto went right to first base to cover without even making a lunge for the ball. So that's what communication's about, playing a whole year together.
Amy Bart has hit the ball hard in her 2 at-bats, a single into left field, and then a hard hit ball to right field that Tiffany Safranco ran down. First pitch is a ball. 2-0. Karen Colmos on the mound. Colmos 14-1 this year. she lost a one-hitter. Losses for Johnson this year to Immaculata in the Mountain Valley Conference and to Westfield in the Union County Tournament semifinals. Kelly Mulligan has also pitched for the Crusaders. She is 7-1, and Holly Fuchs is 1-0. Ball 4, so Bart is on, and again we'll see a courtesy runner for her. That's the second walk allowed by Colmos. And we will get a different courtesy runner this time. Last time Dixon ran, and this time it will be Maria Gentiletti. Maria Gentiletti is the courtesy runner. Gentiletti, a sophomore.
Now coming to bat, the right fielder, number 38, Janelle Pescavage.
Now there's a discussion with Karen Hughes and Nancy Finelli, I believe, about the use of the courtesy runner, whether it needs to be the same person. And if it's not, then does that mean that Bart is out of the ball game?
Wow, Paul, you know, I was thinking the same thing. And
I've got to admit, I'm not that familiar with the courtesy runner rule.
But if it's a free substitution, is she allowed to come back one more time? I think the third base, this would be a real turn of events here.
And I believe that's what the discussion is right now. And if that is the case, that means that Bart would be gone because she would have re-entered. Now there's going to be discussion amongst all three umpires. And they're discussing the letter of the law about the courtesy runner rule.
And the other pitcher for Delran would be
Tracy Bart, but she's only thrown 4 innings.
Wow.
So the discussion going on. Nancy Finelli, now Steve Petrozelli is going to join the discussion. And umpires Hughes, Putterback, and Sigi.
3-2 Johnson Regional trails. And here comes the rule book.
Well, you can't go over to the...
There is Amy Bart wondering if she is still in the ballgame.
What a way to be taken out of a ball game if that's the case.
Now Steve Petrozelli is going to run and find his rule book. He is digging into the book and he is walking out with it. So we are going to have an interpretation of the rule here.
And Delran is probably used to these rules. Look at them coming into the game because of that forfeit against Clear to get in.
Now remember, since it was announced by the PA, and that's generally the way you would have to go by it, Gentiletti is officially in the ballgame and has replaced Bart. The way Steve Petrozelli told me today, he just uses Janet Malcolm as his courtesy runner for Colmos.
You know, Delran, I think, is going to be. This is going to be okay. The coach, Coach Nancy Finelli, looked like she just breathed a big sigh of relief when she left the huddle. And I think if she was trying to have Bart still stay in the ballgame, she would have been in the middle. And I think Delran's going to be okay with that move.
At this point, it looks like Bart will be able to stay or return into the ballgame. Again, Gentiletti is courtesy running for Bart.
You know, Paul, it's funny. We talked about this right before the game about the courtesy runner rule and the effect and look, it's playing a big part in this ball game.
Courtesy runner is allowed for the pitcher and the catcher, and it's a speed-up rule for the most part, so the pitcher can go to the bench and be ready to come out to pitch, and obviously for the catcher to head to the bench and be able to be back in their catching gear. And it looks like all has been settled. Gentiletti is still at first, and since there's no huge discussion going on, I'm going to assume that Amy Bart, who you see there, will be back out on the mound for the home half of the 6th inning. So let's set the stage once again as we're here in the top of the 6th. There is one away, and there's a runner on for Delran. It's Gentiletti running for Bart. Taking a pitch is Jonelle Pescavage. Pescavage looks at ball 1. Pescavage is 0 for 2. Flew out to Tiffany Safranco in right and then grounded out to Tuminello at short. Fouled out of play. And that got the, I think that was the orange mango iced tea bottle. One of those other unusual flavors. 1-1 the count. So what could have been, not a disaster necessarily, but an upsetting event for Delran does not occur. We took about a 4-minute break. The umpires and the coaches got together with the rule book. And now we're going to get a timeout, and Steve Petrozelli is going to head out to the mound. Now, during the delay, Karen Kolmos was warming up.
And the coach came out there, Paul, right after that pitch. It was a borderline pitch, and Kolmos wanted that to be called a strike. And she looked a little bewildered on the mound. And so the coach came out, Petrozelli, to try to calm her down. You know, she is a freshman. She's got 3 more years after this one ahead of her.
Yeah, good point. And sometimes we overlook that for all ages. Even seniors are only, for the most part, 18 years old, and we put a lot of pressure on them, especially in a game such as this, a championship game of a tournament. Almost, you got to figure somewhere in the 14, 15-year-old range. Hard hit ball towards center field, run down by Marzewski. I'll tell you, our 2 center fielders today, Marzewski for Johnson and Camardo for Delran, are 2 fine fielders. Not too much is getting beyond them, Anthony.
Good play with Marzewski. That's a tough ball coming line drive right off the bat, right out of center fielder. She stayed in on it and made the play.
So 2 away, Sarah Michalchuk is the batter. Michalchuk having a big day. She's 2 for 2. First pitch just misses outside for a ball. In the home 6th, it'll be Gentry, Zambuto, and Kolmos for the Crusaders. Hit towards second, it gets by into center field for a 2-out single, and Michalchuk has a 3 for 3 state championship morning. It is still morning here in Ocean County.
They said clean it to center field. Fuchs almost made a diving play to come up with the ball, but runners on first and second here for Delran with 2 outs.
Romanet is 0 for 2. Grounded out Zambuto to Fuchs, and then grounded out Kolmos to Zambuto. 2 away, visiting 6th inning. Delran threatening if they can get a hit from Romanet. Up the middle, will it get through? Tuminello knocks it down, stands on the bag, and they get the out. What a play by Tara Tuminello. Knocked the ball down, it rolled towards the bag, and she had the presence of mind to pick up the ball and be standing on the bag at the same time for the 3rd out. In the inning, no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and 2 runners stranded. We'll head for the bottom of the 6th. Delran leads by 1. Day for Delran High School. If Amy Bart and her teammates can hold on to this 1-run lead, they will win the Group 2 softball championship. And just about 12 minutes from now, Delran boys will take on Jefferson at Toms River East across town for the Group 2 baseball championship. So Delran looking to double up today. Also at East, in Group 4, Edison plays Hackensack in baseball. First pitch grounded towards third. Schofling across the diamond for the 1st out. So Gentry is a 1-pitch out here in the 6th inning. At East Brunswick Tech in Group 1, Audubon takes on Pequannock, and Rancocas Valley meets Demarest in Group 3. And only about 300 yards or so from here at Toms River North, the parochial championships, Immaculata against Gloucester Catholic in a few moments. And then later this afternoon, Seton Hall Prep takes on Paul VI. Hit towards center field, Camardo backs up a step, puts it away. 2 pitches, 2 outs, 3rd straight flyout for Zambuto to Camardo. So Camardo has had her number today. Here's Karen Kolmos. She's 0 for 2, struck out and flew out to left.
6 putouts for Camardo today in center field.
Time is starting to run short for the Crusaders, and they're near the bottom of the order.
You know, Paul, she plays a deep center field, Camardo, even earlier in the game. I know it's a 3-2 game, but she must have a lot of confidence coming in on the ball. She's very, very fleet of foot.
She certainly is the deepest of the 3 outfielders for Delran, although in truth all 3 of them are deeper than we saw, for instance, in yesterday's ball game, the parochial championship game that we televised against Mount St. Dominic and Bishop Eustace. Again, that's a game you'll see on TV3. Fielders in that game were a good 15 or 20 feet closer. Not 5 feet, but about 15 feet. Popped up, possibly playable. Michael Chuck puts it away on the foul out, and it is a 1-2-3 inning for the Crusader Bats. And we will head for the 7th with Delran leading by 1.
Sure.
And in case you're interested, this is when you can see the Parochial B Championship on TV3. Mount St. Dominic winning their 2nd straight title. You'll get 2 more chances to see it Wednesday afternoon at 1 and also Thursday afternoon, June 15th at 1 in the afternoon. We head for the top of the 7th inning and a 3-2 lead for Nancy Finelli and the Delran Bears. Nancy 121 wins in her 10-year coaching career at Delran. Also coached the JV to 79 victories in a 7-year career at Delran. Hoping to pick up the top prize today, the Group 2 State Championship. Top of the order, this is Tracy Bart, grounds it to short to Manello. Quick throw, and it just tips off the glove of Zambudo. And a throwing error will be charged to Tuminello on the play. And that is uncharacteristically the 3rd error of the ball game for the Crusaders.
Good fielding play, but the throw to first base a little offline.
Bunted to the mound. Played to Fuchs, and she takes her eye off the ball, and all hands will be safe. Throw down to second base, and the runner is in safely. So 2nd and 3rd for the Bears. It will go as a sacrifice for Camardo and then an error on Fuchs. 4th error of the game, 2nd of the inning.
Number 42, Danielle Carpet.
Paul, like you said, Fuchs just took her eye off at the last second watching the runner by 2nd and 3rd. The ball was able to skate into right field.
Now the Crusaders have got to play in and go home. 3-2 ball game. Carpet the batter. Walked her last time up. Strokes a single into left. It's at least a 4-2 ball game. They'll hold up the 2nd runner. Carpin trying to get herself hung up between 1st and 2nd. And she will just jog into second base. It is a 4-2 ball game on the single by Danielle Carpin.
And the drawn in infield had a lot to do with that. The infield was a little deep and they might have came up to play, but a clean line drive hit from Carpin.
And nobody out for Jamie Schofling. Schofling, 2 singles, and then a hard hit ball to center field that was turned into a double play. Just got a piece of that one. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out for the Bears. They threatened to break this one open. They got that insurance run. It's 4-2 right now.
Paul, they need to stop the bleeding here because 4-2s already. You're going to be tough to come back in the 7th.
16 hits in this ball game. 17 hits, but maybe that one's the biggest. Cut off in center field, but 2 runs will score. It's a 6-2 ball game. Schofling with a 2 RBI single. And that will really make it an uphill battle.
Line drive, right through the middle. Big, big hit, 2 runs. Now it's 6-2. Delran with the lead.
And still nobody out for Michelle Bain. She's 0 for 3 today. Grounds it to third. The play's going to go to first. So again, the Crusader defense, which has been solid all through this tournament, has had 2 bad innings, but it has cost them 3 runs each time. Here's Amy Bart. It will be interesting if Bart reaches who they put in as the courtesy runner.
Infield still playing in. They have to cut the play off at the plate here.
6-2, Delran leads. Popped up in the infield. Playable in foul territory by Cicatelli. 2 away, but they should be out of the inning already. 2 errors to start the inning.
Good communication here between Cicatelli and the catcher, Sifranco. And Cicatelli, easier play for her coming in. It makes the grab for the out.
Jonelle Petskavich is the batter with 2 away. Still a runner at third base.
Base hit right now, Janelle. Base hit right now. Janelle, you gotta help that runner. Keep it quiet.
One strike count. Karen Kolmos, the freshman, on the mound. The righty delivers. 0-2. Petskavich 0 for 3. And now 0 for 4. Well, I thought it was an 0-2 count. Now it's 1-2, 1-2. So I was 1 pitch ahead. 1-2 with 2 away. That one's in the dirt, picked up by Sifranco. 2-2.
Good play by Sifranco with the runner on third. Keep the ball in front of her. Nice scoop.
Had her leaning across the plate, but it's going to be a full count to Petskavich. 2 walks in the ball game for Kolmos. She struck out 1. Stays alive on the foul ball.
Johnson Regional has a big task ahead of them going into the 7th. They'll have Marzuski, Cicatelli, and Tumanello.
Bounded off the dirt. Cicatelli, the long throw to first, not in time. It's a 7-2 ball game. The throw is wide of first base. The runner heads down to second. It's thrown into center field. This may be a chance for Petskavich to come all the way around. Marzuski chases it down in center field. Her throw home goes off the catcher. Here comes the runner home. The throw to the plate. Kolmos with the tag in time for the out. But 1 run does score on the wild play, and it is a 7-2 ball game as 4 cross in the inning for Delran. They will carry a 5-run margin into the home half of the 7th. Last chance for the Crusaders.
An error on the first baseman, definitely. Then an error on the catcher. Gets her to second, but then no. Well, let's see. Yeah. Well, let me think. Well, third baseman had it. So 5-3, 5-3, 2-8, 2-1. Okay, hold on. Okay, 7 runs, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits. 7, 11, and let's see, there were 2 errors on the play and 2 in the inning, so 6 errors against Johnson.
Four errors in the inning against the Crusaders lead to 4 Delran runs. And the Bears have a comfortable 7-2 lead as we head for the home half of inning number 7.
And if you're scoring on that last play, it's a, what do we have, Paul? 5-3,
2-8, 2-1. Kolmos applying the tag that eventually ended the inning, but 4 across, 3 hits, 4 errors. Of course, nobody left on for Delran, but a 7-2 lead. Marzewski, Cicatelli, Tuminello here in the bottom of the 7th. Unless the Crusaders rally, we will just wrap up our coverage from up here in the booth as the Group 4 contestants are getting ready to go out on the field in the second of the quadruple header here at Toms River North. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Anthony Nesta. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. If you're a Crusader fan, you hope that this game has about 20 minutes more of life left in it. That's what the Crusaders might need to get at least 5 up on the board. They are 22-2. They lost 1 conference game, once in the semis of the county tournament. They trail here in the state final.
Marzewski ahead of the count here, 3-1, so that's what you ideally need, is the leadoff base runner to get on.
State tournament, such a tough one. Yes, you're the sectional champion. Yes, you're the North Jersey champion. But if you don't win on that last day, you somehow have a bitter taste, at least for a while. Well, Marzewski does her best to keep the game alive as she draws a walk. And that is only the first walk allowed by Amy Bart.
But no matter what the outcome, like you mentioned, Paul, terrific year for the Crusaders. But they're still alive. Nobody out with a leadoff runner at first.
Now coming to bat, number 30.
We will have a pinch hitter in the ball game. So batting for Cicatelli will be Sherry Deuster. Sherry Deuster will be the pinch hitter. Sherry hitting .500 this year on 13 for 26. Sherry is a junior, generally plays outfield.
And I spoke to Sherry's dad, Gus, on the way in today, and Gus was really hoping that she could get in the ball game today, and she is here. Big at bat.
She'll take ball 1, throw back to first, and oh boy, you got to nail your feet down at first base. Yeah, you want to get a lead to break up a possible double play, but that is a long, long walk from first base back to the dugout if you're thrown out.
And Paul, it's 2-0, so it is not over for the Crusaders yet.
Yeah, Bart's struggling here in the 7th. That one's in for a strike. So 2-1 to Deuster.
What do you think Coach Finelli said when she was going out to the mound? Throw strikes.
Don't beat yourself. Grounded up the middle. Played there by the shortstop. Carpin across the diamond for the first out.
Now coming to bat, the shortstop, number 6.
Top of the order for Tara Tuminello.
Tuminello.
In a 7-2 ball game, they're down by 5 runs, Paul. The runs don't mean anything. You're avoiding outs here. You just want to keep on sending batters up to the plate without making an out. And they're down to their last 2.
Tuminello's enjoyed a good day. She's 2 for 3, a pair of singles, and she scored 2 runs. Matter of fact, Tuminello was 2 for 3 against Pompton Lakes. That, of course, was in the state semifinal game. Pompton Lakes was the Section 1 champion. A little trouble with second base. It's just not sitting well. Marzewski gives the little kick, and we're ready to go. In the dirt, runner will advance. Marzewski moves up to third base on the wild pitch. Tuminello has, by the way, scored all the runs for the Crusaders. Scored on Safranco's double, Jessica Safranco's double, back in the first inning. And scored on Mulligan's single in the 5th. Two and 0 to Tuminello. Tiffany Safranco waits on deck. Excuse me, 3-0, so that's ball 4.
Now coming to bat, the right fielder, number 10, Tiffany Safranco.
Tuminello keeps the inning alive with 1 out here. Runners on first and third.
Meeting at the Delran mound. Try and settle Amy Bart down.
Just getting out, they're saying. Just getting out.
You're out! Come on, get it out!
In the dirt, ball 1. Now, they are not going to give up the stolen base. Even though that run doesn't mean anything, they are not going to give up, at least on that pitch, the stolen base to Tuminello. 1-1.
No, definitely not. They'll let the run come from third. Their priority is to get it out, so they'll throw through down to second base. Plus, it'll also keep her at first, keeps the double play in order of the force out.
Tiffany grounds it hard. Backhanded it short. No play anywhere. All hands are safe on the infield single, and the run scores to make it 7-3. Sue Marzewski crosses.
Shortstop made a good play getting to the ball, but there was no out to be made on the infield. So now it is 7-3. Johnson Regional only with one out here. Runners on first and second.
Kelly Mulligan, the junior DH, is up. One away. Bottom of the seventh. First pitch is in for a strike. That's something that Bart had not been doing, throwing that first pitch for a strike. Jessica Safranco waits on deck, hoping to get a shot. Grounded towards Carpet. She's looking for one, and she gets one. Didn't even give a thought to certainly third, and not even at second.
Yeah, Carpet knew exactly what she was going to do when she got the ball. She fielded the ball cleanly, got the nice hop there, and threw it across the diamond for the second out. So now Johnson Regional down to their last out of the year.
Jessica Safranco. Key factor is, with Mulligan being thrown out, that Amy Gentry represents the tying run. But Amy Gentry is in the on-deck circle. And if you're Delran, that's where you want the potential tying run to stay. First pitch is a ball. Four-run lead for the Delran Bears. They did it by scoring 4 in the top of the inning. 1-1 to Jessica Safranco. Jessica doubled in a run in the first. Flew out to center, grounded out to third. Hard hit ball, Carpet going to first, and Delran has won the Group 2 state championship.
And they're enjoying it at the mound, Paul, jumping around on each other.
1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on for the Crusaders here in the bottom of the 7th inning. But the Delran Bears ride a 4-run 7th inning to the Group 2 state championship. And Anthony will wrap it up from up here in the booth. Certainly some outstanding pitching by Amy Bart. She stayed ahead of her hitters, but boy, she got some good support with the bats today. Particularly Sarah Michalchuk had 3 hits. Jamie Schofling had 3 hits, including a big 2-run single in the 7th.
Yeah, she was stalked out to that early lead of 3-0 at the end of a half-inning of play, and that'll lay confidence on to any pitcher. Johnson battled back for a run there in the first, but then it was scoreless to the 5th. Johnson made it 3-2, real close ball game, but then they exploded. Delran did for 4 runs in the 7th.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tough to battle uphill, especially against a quality opponent. And of course, you're going to see that anywhere in the state tournament, but particularly in the championship game. So that'll wrap it up for our coverage of the Group 2 championship game. For Anthony Nesto, I'm Paul Spahala. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. And again, the final score, Delran scoring 3 in the first, 4 in the 7th. They go home with the Group 2 crown by the final score of 7-3. Good night.